Hi everyone, welcome to the Space Shooter tutorial. You should already have your template open and ready to go. And we're going to start by taking a look at where the game is now before we add any of our code to it. Not a lot going on. So let's head over to the ES game event sheet. And this is where we're going to add all of the code. So start by adding an event and select the keyboard object. And we want to check if a key is pressed, if a key is down. So this is going to check for when a key is held down. We're going to use the space bar. To that, we're going to add a sub event. Right click on the keyboard event to bring up the menu to select a sub event. And we're going to choose every X seconds. And we'll set 1.5 seconds. This is how often you're going to be able to fire your laser. We don't want the player to be able to just spam shots out as much as they want. Add an action for the rocket and have the rocket spawn another object. That object is going to be our laser. So if you're holding down the space key, every 1.5 seconds, spawn a laser on layer 1. That's our main layer for the game. Test it out. Hold your spacebar down and you should be shooting lasers now. They're not doing anything just yet, but that's fine. We're going to add to that code next. Now we need to add a global variable. So right click on your event sheet in a blank space and we'll add a score variable. Now we can add a system event that says on the start of the layout, we're going to set our score display to score. And that little green globe means that we're using our global variable score. We also want to add an action to pin the score display to our rocket so that it shows up in that little box wherever the rocket goes. And finally, we need to set the score to 0 on our system layout. Let's rearrange things a little bit so that we've got our start of layout at the start of our event sheet. Test it out, and our score should move with us. Still not getting points yet, still not blowing up asteroids, but don't worry, that's coming up next. Let's add another event, this time for the asteroid, and check if it's colliding with a laser. So on collision with laser, we're going to add some actions here. We want to get rid of the laser, so have that destroy. We want to increase our score. I think 100 points per asteroid is fair, but it's up to you. And we can copy and paste this bit of code here because we're going to be reusing it to set text to score for the score display. Test it out. Excellent, we're getting points, but our asteroids aren't blowing up. Not ideal, but we're not finished yet. Now we need to add some actions for the asteroid when it gets hit by a laser. So let's set the sign behavior to inactive. That's going to stop it moving side to side. Just check that works. And have a look here, we've got 2 animation frames. One for the asteroid as it is and one for when it's blown up. These are frames 0 and 1 of the first animation. So when the asteroid is hit by the laser, we want it to change animation frames from 0 to 1, so we get the nice explosion effect. So we're going to set frame to number 1. We're going to wait a little bit, just for dramatic effect. And then we're going to destroy this asteroid. But not before we create another one. So spawn another asteroid on layer 1. And then we'll set this asteroid to destroy. Now we've got some mad exploding asteroids that change their pace every time they're destroyed. Now we need to add some actions for the laser. We want to check the Y value for the laser. So that's how far up or down the screen it's gone. And the Y starts from 0 at the top. So if Y is less than 0, it means our laser has gone off the top of the screen. So we want to check if the laser Y is less than 0, and if it is, you're going to lose points as a player. So we want to subtract 50 from the score. And then we want to destroy the laser. And because our score has changed, we need to update our score display. Test it out. So we're losing points for missing. We can even go into negative. And we get our points back for hitting an asteroid. Now we need to add some pressure to this game. So we'll create a new variable by right-clicking on a blank part of the event sheet. And we're going to call this variable timer. And it's going to start with an initial value of 60 because we want to count down from 60 seconds. So the player needs to score as many points as possible in 60 seconds. So we're going to add an event that says every 1 second subtract from the timer variable a value of 1. And update our time display. So we'll set the text for time display to timer, the timer variable. Just a little bit more code to go here. We're going to check the variables to find out if we reach the end of the timer. So if timer is equal to 0, it means time is up. And we want to go to the game over layout. We've got to make sure our timer is reset at the start of the layout. And we need a way to restart the game when it's game over. So we're going to have R key to be our restart button. So we're going to say keyboard on R pressed, system, go to the game layout. And that's not working quite right. I've made a mistake here. I wonder if you spotted it. I've set the timer to 0 when it should be set to 60. So it was automatically going straight to the game over screen. An easy mistake to make. So preview layout to test our whole game now and see what high score you can get.